We should be happy, in fact, but I'm not that happy yet, to be honest, because the work has to start now. Having an accreditation means that you also have to prove you're worth it. So that means that the coming 2 years, and we already had it in hospitality, people from the United Kingdom are coming to look over our shoulder and they're going to say if it's good enough or not good enough. Now, we know we have a lack on this island in qualified teachers, and really, I'm hunting for them to get qualified teachers. So it's getting a little bit better, but nevertheless, it's not yet good enough. But BTEC, besides of the accreditation, it's not all what we need. We need also to change, to improve, to innovate our education, because that's far more important. I'm not only working at the USM, I'm also, you see my students sitting there, at Sundial. And I feel the need that something has to happen. And that is not only working with tablets or digitalizing the world like Mr. Alan November told us last Thursday. There's a little bit more necessary. We have to train our teachers. Yeah? In fact, we have to train the whole society. It's time for lots of people who have very important posts to step down, to give it over to the young generation, because that is lacking as well. As an example, Pearson, BTEC says always learning. We do the same. We have long continuing education and lifelong learning. We already started it with CEL. So it's not totally new, but we are struggling on that aspect as well, because the society, St. Maarten, is not used to that we always need to study. It's not like I have my degree, it's done. No, we move on again. It has to happen and happen again. Next slide, please. Yeah. Then you get questions. Why? Why is that necessary? Because we have to think different. Now, the question to this slide, of course, is where are we flying, over which country? Now, I think everybody can say that that's Africa. But the question is asked different. It's more open. Because if we move on like this, then we can have the accreditation, we have the BTEC, yeah? And then we can plead for Ms. Bekers, please give us some money, because we are private. We are a private funded USM. And I am in my free time most of the time standing every evening here to teach those students, to get them further, yeah? Because I'm motivated. But other people would like to get a proper salary, yeah? Which is difficult, because USM is really private, yeah? We are no government school or whatever. It would be good if the government realizes that to get our people on a higher standard, we need a little bit more money. It's not a lot, because all the schools are funded, but USM is not funded, or partly, but not a lot. It's not enough. To be able to carry out the BTEC proper, we really need more money, because we have to change the education system. There are two persons sitting here, they know. We changed it already. We're doing it in our spare time. We're making assignment briefs, yeah? People are looking over our shoulder and say, wow, wow, what a job are you doing, yeah? And it should be even become better, because there is more needed. To raise my Sundial students sitting over there, yeah? They never can reach this level, because there's a lack, there's a gap between USM and the primary and the secondary schools. Then we have a big hole, which is not covered. We don't have a level 3 and 4 on this island. NIPA is only offering level 1 and 2. So my students have to come to pre-USM, GED. They already pay a fortune then to be able to enter their associate's degree, yeah? So money is really a problem, and it shouldn't be, because as we saw in the video, in fact, I think education should be free. Nobody should pay for education. A country should elevate its own society by making education free, yeah? And there are countries who are doing that. They make education free, yeah? Our roads are anyway bad. GB is anyway not functioning proper. So why not give all the money to education? Then we can improve GB, then we can improve our roads, because then we have capable, competent people who can do that. And by not doing that, we stay in the dark all the time. The 3 new generators blown up again. We need 3 new ones again. Let's get a mechanic who can repair them proper. But for that, we need somebody to teach them first. And we don't have them, because we don't have the funding. So if you want to come higher with the society, I think Nelson Mandela said it. Yeah? The children are our future. Without children, no future. And I have to teach them. So please help me.
We now have UK accredited associate degrees in hospitality and tourism management and a set in business management. We're going to start up in a few minutes. So in these 3 years, the USM has been diligently working to make sure that these programs that students go to on St. Martin are fully accredited programs. It's good to have those accredited programs. The second step is also to make sure that you have adequate buildings, that your accommodations are up to par, that students can have the sense that when I choose for the USM, I can go and live in dorms. That's important. It's also important, as Mr. Van Beek said, we have to make sure that those students that go to the Sundial but actually have the brains to actually be managers, that they get the opportunity to be managers. That's why we organize the pre-USM program. That's why we have a set of students here. One of them later on that the press can speak to is Ms. Whitney Murray, who actually began with the pre-USM program, and last year she graduated with a fully accredited degree in hospitality management. We know that the Ministry of TIAT will also be part of making sure that we get the expansion of the dorms. So we have Mr. Cecil Nicholas, who will be speaking a bit later, but we have the person who's the mastermind behind actually making sure that the USM can actually get those dorms, and the way we're going to try and get that, and that is Mr. Dani Ramchandani. So I'm going to actually let him explain this to you.
All 3-4 pillars at the same time going up if the building has to be built properly. So what are the pillars for USM? We promised that we will have accredited programs. So our management team has achieved that. We said we will make sure that all the students who graduate from schools like Sundial would be able to come to USM. It is possible now. But we need to expand our facilities here. Making buildings probably is pretty easy. We can find funding and build amazing dorms, amazing offices, but they have to be filled. We need students, qualified students, to be in our school. But we cannot do that if all the laws are not put in place, all the funding is not put in place. We need that help from our government. We definitely need the higher education law in place so that when the students come here, they are confident that when they graduate, they will have a degree that's recognized. I have managed as a group from a board to put a program together for fundraising. We will do the construction. We will start. But we need to have all the ingredients together for the future generation to come out of USM with a reasonable degree that will be recognized worldwide. We cannot, if we don't have that, all the effort that we are putting is not worth it. We are a voluntary board, and we have put our heart and soul into making the USM take it to a future level, to a higher level now. And we need not only the help of government, we need the help of every citizen on this island who believes that education, the higher education, is important. I'm stopped so many times on the road these days by young professionals who have kids who are like 6, 7 years old, and they say, please make this happen because I don't want my kids to leave me when they are 14 or 15 years. So we need to do this together. And we will do it together. But all ingredients should be there. I'm from the food business, so I can give you an example. You can have a state-of-the-art supermarket. You can have state-of-the-art equipment in the supermarket. But if you don't have any money to put the food stuff in there to sell, or the right management to run it, then all this effort would be useless. So our project, I have full confidence in our government to back us up. Because this is the first time in the past 15, 20 years, USM have credited programs, which everybody's talking outside, oh, nothing is credited at USM. Well, this is your opportunity. We will have the building, we will have the credited thing, but we definitely need funding, and we definitely need the law in place. And if that happens all together, I can guarantee you we'll have students coming out of here which we all will be proud of. So